Hey, Shalom Yasharala. Peace be unto the nation of Israel, whom Almighty these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speculative Israelites, being the Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great, the main place for captivity. And we are the Most High Yahweh chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, and Allah Shalom Kodash, being the Holy Tongue, being as in the Paleo Hebrew, being the ancient Hebrew, and give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch, Kodash, which is all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, whom is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm going to Adamashana Kabodium, Lahas Quanium, Shal, Gadawar Kab, many double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, and Shalom honors salutations to by Yashadabadah, the 144,000 elect governing body, the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elect men, women, and children of Israel. So fellow servant Malak Rayab, back at it again with another Harmageddon update. All right, the biblical description of this last World War, moderately known as World War III, with these war drums beating louder and louder, mainly between the U.S., their NATO military machine, and Russia. All right, which is another ensign or omen of the inevitable destruction of America, Babylon the Great, the whore that sits upon many waters, the sinful kingdom, all right, otherwise known as the hammer of the entire earth, and other, spiritual aliases that describes the wickedness of this place in America, Babylon the Great, all right, by these various aliases, all right. So by way of the wickedness of this place being exalted, is going to be the downfall of this place known as America by her enemies mainly, all right, and ultimately Yahweh Shai and the angels in the midst of this last World War. So this is a report on Reuters, and it says Ukraine eliminates Russian chemical weapons chief Igor Kirillov in Moscow. All right, this was reported yesterday afternoon on the 17th at 2:58 p.m. It says BOMB eliminates senior Russian general in Moscow. The general was head of nuclear defense troops. Ukraine claims responsibility for the elimination. BOMB was hidden in an electric scooter. Russia vows revenge. Says a top Russian general accused by Ukraine of being responsible for the use of chemical weapons against Ukrainian troops was assassinated in Moscow by Ukraine's SBU intelligence service on Tuesday morning in the most high-profile elimination of its kind. Says Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, who was chief of Russia's nuclear, biological, and chemical protection troops, was eliminated outside an apartment building along with his assistant when a BOMB hidden in an electric scooter went off. Russia's investigative committee, which probes serious crimes, said an SBU source confirmed to Reuters that the Ukrainian intelligence agency had been behind the hit. The liquidation of the chief of the radiation and chemical protection troops to the Russian Federation is a work of SBU, the source said. Now, it's not a coincidence that, Amalek, through the Israeli government, really on behalf of the Mossad, using America and NATO, for to, enforce their agenda, out on these so-called Middle Eastern countries, the dragons of Arabia, the so-called Muslim nations specifically, is ironically all a part, part of that agenda that includes the narrative of, the threat of chemical weapons, in association with Syria and how they refer to justified in taking out Syria. They use the same, propaganda of chemical weapons, okay, in regards to justifying that land grab over there, all right. So now you have, a similar situation where they're afraid of justifying, eliminating, this chemical weapons expert, Kirillov, based out of Russia, okay, which Ukraine has claimed responsibility for the elimination. But let's see what the former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev had to say about this. Said former President Dmitry Medvedev, now a senior Russian security official, told a meeting show are shown on state TV that Moscow would avenge what he called an act of terrorism. Says law enforcement agencies must find that the killers in Russia, said Medvedev. Everything must be done to destroy the masterminds of the elimination, who are in Kiev. We know who these masterminds are. They are the military and political leadership of Ukraine, he said. Now, which military and political leadership based out of Ukraine is he really referring to? Well, let's go ahead and further explore that. Then this article here says Putin ally, which is the same guy, Dmitry Medvedev, warns of strike on NATO bases, and this was reported almost a month ago. It says an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned about possibly striking NATO military bases according to the Russian state news agency TASS. Dmitry Medvedev, the Russian Security Council deputy chairman, made the comment in response to the Western authorization of Ukraine's use of long-range weapons. Answering a question about whether Russia could strike military bases in Romania and Poland if long-range weapons are continually used against Moscow, he said, here's the point, if the conflict develops by the escalation scenario, it is impossible to rule out anything because the NATO member states have effectively got fully involved in this conflict. Which conflict? The Ukraine proxy war. So the former Russian president, okay, and current Russian Security Council deputy chairman Dmitry Medvedev, has further acknowledged that, revealed his knowledge of the NATO infiltration and presence in Ukraine. So let's further expound on that. Okay, to further expound on why, the death of this Russian chemical weapons chief, Igor Kirillov, based out of Moscow, the capital of Russia, really ties back to NATO on behalf of Esau Edom. Okay, having these orders through these proxy wars and war provocations enforced by the Israeli government. All right, so let's go ahead and get this other article here. This is on USA Today. It says Ukraine fires British long-range missiles into Russia a day after it launches newly approved U.S. weapons. All right. So this further confirms the NATO presence down there. Okay. Because UK is an active member of NATO. All right. All right. So, so going back to this article here, regarding the death of this chemical weapons chief, Igor Kirillov in Moscow, this further reveals the modus operandi of Esau Edom, otherwise known, his track record. All right. How he moves, especially these, orchestrated military operations out of covetousness and lasciviousness, being that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man that the devil the Bible speaks of, is a niggard. He's the epitome of a niggard, okay, a stingy person who cannot have enough, all right, because this is not the first time, right, that he's carried out attacks, such attacks on, these, weapons experts and so forth, all right, going back to, the death of this individual. Let me go ahead and bring him up here. Going to bring up this article. It's on algerminer.com. All right, reported 4 years ago. It says the consequences of Fakhrizadeh's elimination. The assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh on November 27, 2020, caps off one of the Iranian regime's most difficult years. So the significance of bringing this out is that this guy was considered, a weapons expert. All right, that was eliminated. All right, shortly before the Iranian top general Qasem Soleimani was eliminated on January 3rd of 2021. All right. That's, I believe, so this guy, Qasem Soleimani, I believe that he ended up getting put to death either beginning of the year or the following year. But either way, it was around the same time, this Iranian military weapons expert, all right, which was really a nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, was put to death by Esau Edom, all right? And from 2010 to 2020, Esau Edom has eliminated, at least 5 of Iran's, weapons experts, all right, including nuclear scientists. All right, so it's not a coincidence that this story has hit the headlines, the news headlines of this Russian chemical weapons chief being put to death, and Ukraine taking, claiming responsibility, when it's been further revealed that the NATO military machine on behalf of America taking orders from the Israeli government are down in Ukraine. Case in point. Now, go ahead and bring out this quick clip before I continue. It says this is a post on X. Someone posted, the United States has, when they quoted, the words of the State Department spokesperson, Matthew Miller, okay, who they, jokingly refer to as Count Smerkula, with reference to a vampire, So anyway, so it says United States has no ties to the terrorist attack on Moscow that resulted in the death of Russian General Kirillov. So Esau is denying their involvement and the elimination of that Ukraine chemical weapons expert based out of Russia. Yet they've had ties to eliminating the top weapons experts and nuclear scientists of the adversaries of America. So we're not ignorant of this devil's devices, and ultimately, this has Esau written all over it. So this is Psalm 58:1. It says, "Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands and the earth." All right. So who weighs the violence of the earth within his hands? Okay, who the same wicked hands the earth was given into. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and precept that with Job 9:24, and it says, "The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" All right. So if not, who and where is he? In other words, if a subsequent white man is not the wicked hands this world was given into, as the devil the Bible speaks of, the man of sin and son of perdition, all right, who's established and hammered the entire earth, this wicked capitalistic corporation, okay, all right, backed by its military support, all right, through the military industrial complex and its intelligence agencies and the global leverage of its petrodollar. What other nation is it talking about? Okay, it's none other demographic or nationality but the Edomites, the self-proclaimed Caucasian race. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that out in Jeremiah 50. All right, in 23 regarding the hammer of the earth. But I'm gonna start up in verse 22, and it says, "A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction." All right, because ultimately, all right, the sound of battle leading to that great destruction, all right, is coming to America. All right, Babylon the Great. It says in verse 23, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" All right, by way of its, its covetousness. All right, its lasciviousness. All right, its greed. All right, through the vibration of Satan. All right, exalted here. Okay, through the wine of fornication, the modern day Western philosophy of Esau, Edom. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and speaking of that, I'm going to segue over to that. Jeremiah 51, start at verse 7. It says, "Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad." All right, so this is how you've carried out these war provocations through your wine. Okay, carrying out these actual acts of terrorism. So you're the true terrorist, but yet you're trying to demonize us as such. You're trying to shift the blame. All right, that's part of that. Another phrase known in this Western society known as a shift blaming. That's what you devils are trying to do. You're setting up these bots. Setting up these hirelings. Okay, try to blame the ministry. Okay, such as sending these agents with these shaky names. Okay, of terms of terrorism. They come on board. Acting sincere, posting scriptures. So you devils are shift blaming. To try to demonize us for preaching the word, the righteous word of the Lord, Yahweh by Shemeshai, that's further tearing down your strongholds or stumbling blocks, ultimately exposing you as a global and true and authentic terrorist. That's exactly what you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten America by any other means except for that, except for those very means. Okay? Because you terrorize the indigenous of the Northern Kingdom. All right? This is how you got America. And this is documented. No matter how much you try to, change history. All right? This is who you are. This is who you are. This is not who your arch nemesis is, the descendants of Jacob. Okay? The Israelites. Okay? But even before Jacob's trouble actually kicks off, you're going to continue to demonize the true prophets of the Lord ultimately. Okay? The true people of the Israelites, the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai is using in his spiritual warfare to further target you devils and wickedness. All right? Using us, the prophets, to further tear down your strongholds and stumbling blocks. All right? Case in point. All right? So anyway, I digress. Back to the to the precepts here. I'm continuing verse 8. Actually, I'm going to start from the top. It says, "Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. They're mad. They're in a frenzy. Okay, they're distraught. All right, they're bamboozled. All right, they're infuriated. Okay, over the effects of this wine affecting their sovereignty. Okay." So this is verse 8. "Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us Go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So this is the sentiment of these nations now. They're no longer, they're reconsidering the international dealings with the whore, America, Babylon the Great, by way of the consequences that comes with that. All right, including destruction. You see, as it says in Revelation 18, they would witness the smoke of her burning, roughly paraphrasing. Because the destruction of America, Babylon the Great could be put on public display. Okay, because Lord Yahweh Shemashah can make a prime example out of this place. All right, for its iniquity being exalted by the devil, Esau, Edom. All right, Jeremiah 51:10 says, verse 10 says, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah our power. That's what we're doing ultimately, on the highways and hedges, prophesying against Mount Seir. All right. Verse 11 says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh by Shemashah had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. All right, which might of the Medes of the Russians, for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. All right. Ultimately, the temple, the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah, is a spiritual temple. Okay, Yasharallah, ultimately the house of David. Okay, the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, in whose favor he is for by speeding up these times and bringing these end time prophecies to pass. Okay, all right, ultimately for the salvation of Israel. All right, so this is Isaiah 34. We'll start from the top. It says, come near ye nations to hear and hearken. Ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is Greek for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, so you Edomites are cursed, and you're going to go from a curse to destruction, as it says in Sirach, the 41st chapter, around the 10th verse. All right, this verse 6 says, the sword of the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai had the sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right, so because America, Babylon the Great is going to be going to represent a gigantic altar of sacrifice to the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay, verse 7 says, and the unicorn shall come down. Matter of fact, Salakia, I want to speak on something. In verse 4, read that again. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Going into that mushroom cloud. All right, that cloud. That was the form, or that forms. By way of the effect of thermonuclear weapons going off. All right, through that process of nuclear fission and so forth. All right, where the atoms collide and creates a nuclear reaction. All right. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. So being that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah speaks through signs. All right. I want to go ahead and bring out this article that speaks on that in regards to this particular weapon that Amalek has recently dropped on Syria. As you can see here, it says the Israelis drops earthquake BOMB on Syria, causing huge mushroom cloud as Americans urge to leave. All right, so I'm going to play this quick video. All right. See that? That mushroom cloud right there. All right. So, hey, man, it's another omen or ensign of what's to come in regards to, the ultimate mushroom cloud, a nuclear cloud being seen in America, Babylon the Great, is an indication of the destruction of this wicked place. As you can see, the Amalek had dropped the earthquake B-O-N-B, what they refer to as an earthquake B-O-N-B, on Syria, causing huge mushroom cloud as Americans urged to leave. Because you so-called Americans ain't supposed to be over there anyway. Okay? Because you devils are vagabonds and you infiltrate lands, okay, to usurp the money of Western authority for wicked aspirations. And you see, the entire world is becoming more privy to your devices. And as a result of that, your wine or the bondage of your wine, all right, that spiritual bondage, that gross darkness is going to further diminish, and people are going to start to further realize that there's a problem with your rulership because there's a problem with you, because you are the devil. Okay, so that so-called earthquake B-O-N-B that dropped on Syria resulted in a magnitude 3 earthquake over there. So that's a further omen what was mentioned in Isaiah 34:5. All right, so I just wanted to get into that real quick. Let me jump back down to verse 7. It says, "And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls." Matter of fact, let me read the whole thing again, starting from verse 4. "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yashai is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai had the sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness." Verse 8, For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yashai's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. So the entire reason why this war is taking place is for the destruction of you heathen nations. That might be the second part, or second edition of this video, through the Spirit. All right, because that's the real reason why this war is taking place. All right, to punish you heathen nations for afflicting and oppressing the nation of Israel. Okay, all right, especially Edomites. All right, so within the aftermath of this war, the children of Israel be saved and brought back to the land of Israel by Yahweh and the angels. Okay, it further confirms the fraudulence of you devils' claims that you're the chosen. So I'm going to end this off here and say Matthew 24 and 13. "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." And the save is a prefix of salvation. Salvation is only for Israel. All right, so I'm going to end it off on that note. Praise the epistles for the edifying, exhorting to elect, and give all praise, glory, and honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach. All right, for blessing me with the Spirit to do this video. All right, and with that, once again, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, all right, whose labors we've entered into. And Shalom Labachayim, which means Shalom to the elect, Abba the Ball. All right, and on to the next one.